I constantly see these conversations where people are like, Dejanay's not a good friend, La Cienaga's not a good friend, so on and so forth. But truly, I believe none of these girls were good friends to one another, because I think people are always pointing the finger against everyone else when truly Penny wasn't a good friend either. But I think all of these individuals weren't necessarily the best friends to one another.
Christ's love isn't like everybody else's love. It's not like the world's love. The world's love loves you when you do things right or when you do things with them. But as soon as you make a mistake, they take that love away. But what I've experienced with the love of Christ is that it loves first. It loves through wrongdoing. It loves when you shouldn't be loved anymore. It's unconditional. And that's the love that I believe is going to change the world and has changed me.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Micaiah. I'm back and I'm black and I'm back and I'm black and I'm back and I'm black and I'm back and I'm black.
Sasha here. Excuse me? Supermodels do not fly business class. Now, I'm not going to demand a private jet, but I think Jag could at least spring for first class.
Today, I'm bringing you all another video diving into the Proud Family, the original Sphere. Okay, so I constantly see these conversations where people are like, Dejanay's not a good friend, La Cienaga's not a good friend, so on and so forth. But truly, I believe none of these girls were good friends to one another, and we're going to get into that. This may be, I don't want to say an unpopular opinion, but I really haven't heard this kind of conversation on the YouTube space, because I think people are always pointing the finger against everyone else when truly Penny wasn't a good friend either, and we're going to dive all up in that. But before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to see more of me. And if you're new, hey, and if you're a returner, I really, truly appreciate the love. If you get the chance, please check out my social media platforms down within the description box, where I display my passion for fashion and various other interests that you see on this YouTube channel. For all who are new, you should know I do an array of topics. I am extremely diverse. I love nostalgic topics, I love nerdy topics, I love conscious topics, and I dibble and dabble within vlogs. And all of those have been created within playlists, so you can easily navigate the specific interests that you have. So make sure you check that out. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, before I get deeper into my commentary, I just want to make this clear that I love The Proud Family. It's one of my favorite shows. The Proud Family movie is my favorite Disney Channel original movie. So let's make this clear. I still love The Proud Family, but we can still dissect the flaws that's within the cartoon. Okay, so I wanted to bring a different conversation, because I think we always, like I said, point the finger at specific characters, but I think all of these individuals weren't necessarily the best friends to one another.
The Proud Family often portrayed friend groups more as frenemies than true ride or dies. On the surface, Penny had a close-knit group consisting of Dejanay, Zoe, and La Cienega. However, the dynamics were complicated. Rather than fostering a profound sisterhood, the girls frequently engaged in competition, betrayal, or disregard towards one another. Dejanay was often loud, humorous, and occasionally loyal, yet she also exhibited selfishness and unreliability. She frequently abandoned Penny for boys, notably Sticky. She exposed Penny's private matters on display and coerced her into various situations. Her loyalty was inconsistent, rendering her more of a fair-weather friend than a dependable one. La Cienega was considered Penny's quote-unquote frenemy. She frequently exhibited jealousy, competitiveness, condescending towards Penny, particularly regarding appearances, abilities, or romantic interests. Although they shared instances of camaraderie, La Cienega never completely accepted Penny without also belittling her. Zoe was the friend who often felt awkward and insecure. While she did not exhibit overtly shady behavior, she frequently chose to side with La Cienega or Dejanay rather than defend Penny. This tendency towards being passive resulted in her not always being supportive friend that Penny required during difficult times. Now, I left Penny for the end because I think many times when people are discussing their friendship and their bond, they're always targeting those three individuals and they never speak on how Penny was not the best friend either. So we're going to dive deep into this now. Penny was not always the most reliable friend, which is a significant reason why the dynamics within the Proud family appeared to be so chaotic. Penny frequently expressed her irritation towards Dejanay overlooked Zoe's social awkwardness, or became irritated with La Cienega. Rather than supporting her friends, she desired to belong, which led her to occasionally conform to certain behaviors, such as gossip, peer pressure, or questionable actions, rather than maintaining her principles. Consequently, this rendered her unreliable as well. Penny often found herself torn between her desire for independence from her parents and her aspiration to be quote-unquote perfect. Consequently, she did not consistently prioritize being a reliable friend. She would call out her friends for their mistakes, yet she was not always willing to take responsibility for her own similar actions. The girls occasionally celebrated one another without elements of rivalry or jealousy. Betrayals, rumors, and competition were frequent. The connection was delicate. The show depicted the chaotic nature of tween and teen friendships more accurately than an idealized portrayal of quote-unquote sisterhood. The Proud Family may not have provided us with a set of genuine best friends, yet it offered a realistic portrayal of the challenges faced in friendships, where loyalty is challenged, insecurities arise, and you discover who truly supports you. None of the girls from the Proud Family were genuine friends. They exhibited flaws, inconsistency, and frequently acted in their own self-interest. However, perhaps that was the intended message, to illustrate that friendship during adolescence is chaotic, imperfect, and ultimately a valuable lesson in understanding trust. Once again, none of the girls, including Penny, truly represented the essence of a dependable friend. Their interactions were based on rivalry, competition, and convenience. Consequently, episodes frequently concluded with moral lessons, but seldom depicted genuine ride-or-die loyalty. Penny and Dejanay's dynamic. Penny was tired of Dejanay's antics, but instead of cutting ties or setting boundaries, she complained yet stayed. Penny and La Cienega. She knew La Cienega was shady, but still wanted her validation. Penny and Zoe. Instead of protecting Zoe from teasing, Penny often joined in or left her hanging. So their dynamic was an interesting one. However, I do think this showed like the flaws within friendships, the ups and downs that come with friendships, and there are some bonds that can be rectified even if they are birthed in some sort of negativity. So I think that they showed an interesting depiction of friendship, but I think a lot of times when we have this conversation, we're not speaking on how each of them weren't good friends with one another and pinpointing certain people, but overall, I don't think they were the best of friends to one another. But to see the other side of it, they're teenagers, they're tweens, they're going to make mistakes, they're not going to have it all together, and this is what comes with a lot of adolescence.
I thank you all for watching. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Please leave your thoughts and perspectives down within the comment section. I am open to all perspectives, but please let's make sure that we're being respectful down within the comment section. I want you all to remember that you are uniquely made by the God who created the universe. He knew you before you were in your mother's womb, so there's no mistake about you. And continue to lean on him even during these dark times that we're going through now, and keep your eyes focused on him. So I thank you all so much for sharing this precious moment with me, and I'll check you all out in the next video. Stay blessed, everyone.